So, under current law, a president can federalize a state's National Guard over a governor's objections through multiple pathways. Title 10 of the U.S. Code allows federalization during any presidential declaration of a national emergency, while the Insurrection Act can be invoked whenever the president determines that violence or unrest prevents the enforcement of federal law. This specific deployment of California National Guard troops in LA illustrates how these authorities now function in practice. President Trump's invocation of both Title 10 and arguments about rebellion against U.S. authority allowed him to override Newsom's objections and deploy federal forces for immigration enforcement, a use that would have been unthinkable under the original Posse Comitatus framework. So what emerged from this 3-decade evolution is a system that has effectively ended a 130-year precedent of Posse Comitatus Act's protection against domestic military deployment. The combination of expanded emergency authorities, loosened command requirements, and a broad interpretation of what constitutes rebellion or insurrection has created exactly the scenario that the Act's framers sought to prevent: easy presidential access to military force for domestic purposes. The irony is that this transformation occurred not through dramatic legislative battles or constitutional crises, but through a series of seemingly routine administrative updates spread across multiple administrations. But the biggest takeaway that one needs to know is that the faith placed in presidential restraint is wholly insufficient. Trump can override Newsom all day, every day, and he's already done it. He can send troops to the border and even call up branches of the military that have been barred from intervening in domestic affairs unless otherwise specified by Congress under the most extreme circumstances. We've abandoned a core principle that governed American civil-military relations for over a century. So now we have federal troops walking the streets of American cities, deployed over the objections of state authorities for purposes very far removed from traditional concepts of insurrection or rebellion. As crazy as it sounds, given all that Trump has put us through, this might prove to be the biggest test of our principles and whether there are limits to presidential power.